For joining us for another edition of Weather-Wise. I'm meteorologist Christian Bridges, and today we're going to be taking a look back at Hurricane Ida, a devastating hurricane that so far has killed nearly 100 people in its path from Louisiana to New York and has caused more than $50 billion in damage. Ida, here's a look at it making landfall in Louisiana, came on the heels of the devastating 2020 Atlantic hurricane season, which featured 3 hurricane landfalls in Louisiana. One was a Category 4, one was a Category 3, and one was a Category 2. And Ida made it another Category 4 storm this year, made landfall on August 29th near Port Fourchon, Louisiana, south of New Orleans as a 150-mile-per-hour Category 4 storm. This is exactly 16 years to the day and nearly in the same location as Hurricane Katrina's catastrophic landfall in 2005. Ida then slowly crawled inland into Louisiana, remaining a major hurricane inland for 8 hours after landfall and causing wind, storm surge, and coastal damage and flooding damage to coastal Louisiana and Mississippi. I had the opportunity to experience and document this storm firsthand in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. Here's a map of that right here on your screen, right along the Gulf Coast and not far from the border with Louisiana. While Ida's impacts were not nearly as bad as they were in Mississippi as they were in Louisiana, it was still a fairly significant storm for the coast. You can see my location here, the red pin, the Baytown Inn. That's where I stayed, literally right along the water along Beach Boulevard. And even though I was right on the water, I was very safe from the effects of storm surge and the storm itself. Bay St. Louis has Hurricane Katrina to thank for that. 16 years ago, that storm brought a monster 28-foot storm surge to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, basically wiping all structures in Bay St. Louis off the map. After that storm, a seawall was built, which put Bay St. Louis and the hotel I was staying at well above sea level and well out of the way of storm surge. Even so, there were many unprotected areas along the Bay St. Louis shoreline that experienced storm surge. Here's a look at some of that flooding along the Beachfront Road in Bay St. Louis. US 90, which many of you know probably it runs along the Gulf Coast down there, also experienced significant overwash and flooding from Pass Christian to Biloxi, causing it to close for the duration of the storm. The storm also brought powerful winds to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, including gusts near hurricane force where I was in Bay St. Louis. The slow movement of the storm caused the Mississippi Gulf Coast to experience tropical storm conditions for 18 hours or more straight. And the slow movement also caused the storm to dump up to 15 inches of rain in Bay St. Louis, causing street flooding all over the city. After conditions finally improved on August 30th, I was finally able to get out and take a better look at some of the damage along the coast that the storm caused. Here's some of the damage along the coast the next morning. You can see that street sign down in the flooding. You can see how high those stilts are on that house. That's all thanks to Katrina, which wiped out all of the homes in Bay St. Louis. So that's all thanks to Katrina. Most of the houses were okay because of the stilts, but still lots of flooding there as well. And storm surge penetrated far inland as well. It flooded the main highway out of Bay St. Louis, as well as several neighborhoods in the area. Even 24 hours after the storm made landfall, when this picture was taken, as well as this picture, you can see the water up almost covering those mailboxes, nearly submerged. And while impacts in Mississippi overall were not completely terrible, Ida was a devastating storm that will be remembered for years to come in Louisiana, and especially the New Orleans area. Cleanup will take months, and recovery will take many years. Thank you for watching, and if you have any weather-related questions, please reach out to us, and we will be happy to answer them.
Weather-Wise is brought to you by 4 County Electric Power Association.